Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. Obesity Doc Visit number 2, and some non-lose-it conventional advice. I've been seeing an obesity specialist since April. He is in the endocrinology department at the University Hospital in my city, in his 70s, and a highly accomplished researcher and doctor. On our first visit, we established an eating pattern and he assigned me to track my food. See the link for more details. My second visit was a few days ago. Here are the next steps for me. Disclaimer, this advice was given by a medical professional for me and my situation. Do not attempt to blindly copy this advice for yourself because you don't have my body and my life. That said, I hope there are some things people might try or talk to their own doctors about in this post that will help. 1. Start attempting to eat to 85% full. Experiment with eating until full, past full, and under full to find the right feeling for 85%. When you are over full, in 10 to 15 minutes, you will feel sleepy, undermotivated, and not great physically. When you are at or just under full in the same time period, you will feel pretty good and full of energy. 2. Most people do not use satiety cues to decide to stop eating. They have habits that are surprisingly stable over time. For instance, most people have a number of pizza slices they almost always eat, regardless of their fullness. The same for pasta, even when they don't measure. One way to curb overeating is to alter these habits. Normally have 4 slices of pizza, try 3 or 2, and see how you feel. Use a smaller plate or bowl to dish out your pasta. 3. Genuine hunger only occurs 2 to 3 times a day according to hormonal cycles related to regular meals. You should have 4 to 5 hours after a meal before your body's ready for another one. Hunger comes on gradually, and it can wait a little while to be satisfied. 4. Cravings, on the other hand, come on quickly and strongly and will diminish if you wait them out and or find a distraction. Hunger that occurs less than 4 to 5 hours after your last meal is probably a craving. This has been hugely helpful to me because I get anxious about not having enough food and not eating when hungry, leading to EDs. This advice has made me calmer because I can be like, no big deal, I'll just eat at the next mealtime. Cravings also happen at times you habitually have eaten or when you get an outside cue, like passing an ice cream store after church if you've always stopped there after church. 5. Always monitor your food intake. Once a day, in under a minute, guessing if you have to. And don't pay very much attention to calories and deficit levels. Doc is teaching me to listen to my body signals and to not rely so much on my phone to decide when to eat and stop eating. This skill is what I will need for maintenance. It goes against r/lose-it wisdom not to calculate your desired deficit and to eat to it, but I'm going to try the doc's advice and see where it takes me. That means no more tracking at 3 p.m. to see how much dinner I can get away with. 6. I told him that sometimes when I eat until 85%-ish, I end up eating much less than I understood was acceptable, like 1100 kcal some days. He said that's absolutely fine. Another non-lose-it approved thing he said is that as long as I'm not consistently doing 700 to 800 kcal a day, I'm fine. He also said that there is a high variability between people. He has patients who maintain a 900 kcal a day and some who can eat 1900 kcal and still lose. I'm trusting him because he's a scientist and a professional. It also makes me feel relaxed about doing what's right for my body. 7. While calories are not very important, protein and carbs are. He recommended 80 plus grams of protein for me and 70 to 130 grams of carbs. I asked about fat and he said I don't need to worry about it. I'm on board with this advice personally. He's essentially trying to teach intuitive eating, that is, relying on your hunger and satiety signals plus nutrition awareness. I think people scoff at intuitive eating because they think it's just as simple as eating whatever you want, whenever you want. It's not that simple. People who grew up without overeating habits do this because they are also relying on their hunger and satiety cues. They just don't realize it. They are on autopilot. It's a habit. For those of us who didn't grow up with those habits, we have to train ourselves to do it. It seems like that is what your doc is going for. I am not saying calorie counting and weighing food is bad. I myself did it for many years and I'm glad I did. But learning intuitive eating is working for me now. It's a solid approach also. Number 1 has just confirmed something for me. I often feel sleepy after lunch and I can't complete my task for the day. All my body and mind want to do is lie down, so then I have a coffee and some sugar to try to perk myself up. I've suspected I might be overeating, so I've been experimenting with stopping when I feel comfortably full and not cannot eat another bite without bursting full. And I feel way better. I feel full, but not bloated and sleepy. I'm glad this is not just in my head, and your doctor says it's a real thing. I'll keep eating to 80% full, but I have to practice being aware of what that kind of full feels like, because the feeling or signal is much more subtle at 80% than it is screaming at me at 100%. I also have to slow down and pay attention. The reason he's telling you calories aren't important and telling you to focus on eating lots of protein is because you will feel very full if you eat a lot of protein. Therefore, you'll be much less likely to seek unnecessary calories. Chowing down on 100 grams plus of protein a day is a job in and of itself. That's about 10 boiled eggs or about 20 ounces of chicken breast to hit the minimum. Eating that every day is going to keep you very full by itself. I pretty much agree with everything except number 5. I truly hope this works out for you and others. However, I tried this and I personally am going to be mindful of calories for life. I may have to track lazily, but mentally I will never not be mindful of calories. Every single time I lose track of that, I gain it back. But as you said, this is for you and it certainly may be helpful for you and others. This is basically what any registered dietitian will tell you to do. Listen to your body's hunger and fullness cues. It's similar to intuitive eating, and I'm glad to hear a doctor on board with this. As an RD, I find many physicians give less than helpful advice regarding weight loss and nutrition. What advice are they giving that is helpful, and what is unhelpful? So, my opinions are probably a lot different than what you'll find on the subreddit. Most RDs are typically against dieting, as the research shows diets don't result in sustainable weight loss. We like to take the focus off of weight and focus on healthy behaviors. Most doctors are still very weight focused. They will simply say to the client, lose weight, or eat 1200 kcal per day, which isn't helpful and sometimes not necessary. What if the client is generally healthy, but their BMI just happens to make them overweight or obese? If they are happy and healthy, then why is weight loss still being prescribed? I personally don't love tracking calories. I get that it can be helpful in reaching a goal, but likely you won't continue to do it for the rest of your life. So why not focus on incorporating healthy behavior changes instead, such as increasing fruit and veg intake, exercising, stress management, etc. Calorie counting may work for some people, but for others it may get obsessive, lead to demonizing certain foods, or a bad relationship with food in general. So helpful advice would be addressing the behaviors that may be contributing to high body weight and weight gain, like overeating, mindless eating, which is what this doctor has done. Sorry if that was a bit rambly. I hope I answered your question clearly. I just want to say that your original post helped me quite a bit. I myself started tracking everything, but quickly, no more than 1 minute per meal. I track everything even if I eat above my goals for that day. I have found over time that my binges have gotten smaller, though my average daily calories have increased. I also tried the 1 meal completely protein, which is my breakfast and is around 50 grams of protein. That really worked for me, so much that I do it daily now. I am still working on the variety meal with vegetables. I don't like vegetables much and I'm very picky about how underripe they must be to consume. The days I do achieve this, I do much better though. So I just wanted to let you know that your post was very helpful. Thank you. I am working with a lactation nutritionist, and we are working on very similar things. I really like an app that she uses called Healthy. When you enter into your food diary, it will ask how hungry you are, what mood you're in, your thoughts after eating, and any comments you have on the meal. I've definitely noticed that if I'm still feeling hungry after I finish my plate, if I wait a while afterwards, I'm actually not full or hungry anymore. I'm using a health program app through my health insurance, and I've gotten similar advice. I track all my food, but not calories, and I'm trying to be mindful of what's a craving and what's genuine hunger. I also get worried about having food and am working on my ED. It's helped a lot to recognize that I'm really okay if I can put off cravings or kind of ride the wave and get past it. It's tricky, but reframing your thoughts can make a huge difference. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. 1 pound from overweight. Starting weight 222 pounds, current weight 187. Still have far to go, but have come a long way.